People talk about downfall stories all the time. They talk about fame fading, bridges burning, or opportunities slipping through someone's fingers. But every now and then, there comes a story so intense, so layered, so messy, that it pulls you in whether you want to be involved or not. This is one of those stories. Because what happened with Arionne Curry wasn't just a scandal. It wasn't just online chaos or a few heated arguments on Instagram Live. No, this felt like watching someone unravel in real time. Someone who had the world's eyes on her, even when she wasn't officially part of the show that made her name circulate non-stop. And here's the twist. Nobody expected her to expose herself the way she did. Nobody expected the very moments she thought were helping her to be the same moments people say pushed the network further away. If anything, it became a cautionary tale, a reminder that sometimes the battle you're fighting isn't against producers, cast members, or the public. Sometimes, without even realizing it, the fight is against your own choices, your own reactions, your own pride. So let's talk about it. Let's unpack how Arionne Curry, once confident she could control the narrative, ended up battling a tidal wave of backlash. How she found herself shunned by the network, dismissed by viewers, and locked in a fight for her reputation. A fight that many people believe she ultimately lost. This isn't about tearing anyone down. It's about understanding how a series of decisions, emotional missteps, and public explosions can shift everything. Because as dramatic as it sounds, this really did feel like her career, her influence, her entire image crashed right in front of millions. But to understand how the fall happened, we have to rewind way back to the beginning of her involvement with a certain well-known Huntsville storyline. Before the cameras, before the Instagram battles, before the interviews and tears and rants, there was a woman living a life she likely thought would remain private. Arionne wasn't trying to become a household name. She wasn't campaigning for reality TV fame. Her name was pulled into the spotlight because of her connection to a man who was already knee-deep in television drama. And when that connection became public, everything exploded. At first, there was confusion. People didn't know who she was. They didn't know the details, they didn't know how long things had been going on, or what the real dynamic was behind closed doors. All they had were rumors from viewers, clips from the show, and little pieces of information that floated around social media. But as soon as her identity became known, the public chose sides, quickly, brutally, and with no mercy. Some people said she was manipulated. Others said she knew exactly what she was doing. Some tried to defend her. Many did not. The atmosphere around her name became so charged that even people who didn't watch the show began forming opinions. Suddenly, Arionne Curry was no longer a private person. She had become a character in a story, even though she wasn't the one holding the camera. And that's where the emotional struggle began. Because imagine being tied to a narrative you didn't write. Imagine watching strangers dissect your life, your choices, your emotions, and your identity day after day. It wasn't easy, and you could see it. You could feel it in the way she spoke, the way she defended herself, the way she lashed out online. Every post, every rant, every tearful moment felt like someone trying to pick up pieces of themselves while the world kept throwing new ones on the floor. But here's the twist. Instead of stepping back, breathing, and rebuilding quietly, Arionne walked straight into the fire. She fought every comment. She dragged every critic. She called out cast members, fans, bloggers, even the network itself. And while she may have felt justified, while she may have felt like she needed to defend her truth, the more she spoke, the more explosive things became. People couldn't look away. Her social media lives turned into events, not casual chats, not simple responses, full emotional explosions. She would go from anger to sadness, from confident to overwhelmed, all within minutes. And let's be real, the internet doesn't forgive that kind of vulnerability. It doesn't offer grace. It screenshots, screen records, and spreads everything further than you ever intended. Every time she logged on, it became another headline, another debate, another reason the network reportedly distanced themselves further. Because in the world of reality television, especially a show built around entrepreneurship, marriages, and carefully coordinated drama, unpredictability is both a blessing and a curse. You want sparks, arguments, and tension, but you need cast members who understand boundaries, who know when to hold back, who recognize that the network controls the narrative, not Instagram Live. And Arionne, bless her heart, never mastered that part. She exposed private messages. She shared behind-the-scenes conversations. She talked openly about producers, cast members, filming decisions, all the things networks usually want kept quiet. She didn't just stir the pot, she poured the entire pot over the table and dared everyone to clean it up. Viewers said she was hurting her chances. Cast members hinted that they didn't want her anywhere near filming. Some even expressed fear that she might spill information that was never meant to be public. And in a franchise already filled with tension, her presence was seen as a ticking time bomb. But what nobody expected was the one moment, the moment that people still talk about, where she exposed herself more than anyone ever could have imagined. It wasn't a scandal involving someone else. It wasn't a secret about the show. It wasn't even a comment made by a cast member. It was her own emotional unraveling, broadcast by her own hand. A late night live, a frustrated rant, tears mixed with anger, exhaustion, and heartbreak. She didn't hold back. She didn't filter her words. She didn't think about how the network might interpret what she was saying. She just released everything. She talked about being mistreated. She talked about feeling used. She talked about the hurt she carried, the hurt people rarely acknowledged. She spoke about betrayal, misunderstandings, and the moments she believed weren't portrayed fairly. But the rawness of that night, the intensity of her emotions, made some viewers sympathize and others turn away completely. To her followers, it was a human moment. But to the network, to producers, to the cast, it was confirmation that bringing her into the show would ignite a wildfire no one could control. After that, the narrative took on a life of its own. The network reportedly shut the door quietly, firmly. Fans claimed she had ruined her own chances. Comment sections flooded with debates about her behavior. Some defended her, saying she was emotional because she had been deeply hurt. Others argued she was creating chaos for attention. Whatever the truth was, the perception stuck. The image of Arionne Curry became one of instability. Someone too unpredictable for television, someone who might lash out without warning, someone who held too many secrets and too much resentment, someone who could flip a storyline upside down with a single rant. And the emotional toll? It was heavy, because while the internet moved on from each moment quickly, she lived through every second of it. She watched people call her names, she watched strangers debate her worth, she watched fan pages tear her apart, she watched cast members distance themselves, she watched the network look the other way. And all of that noise changes a person. You could see it in her eyes during later lives. You could hear it in the shakiness of her voice. There was a woman who had been pushed into the public eye, dragged through the mud, and then expected to stay silent while others created a version of her she didn't recognize. But pain can lead to choices that deepen the downfall. And the more hurt she felt, the more she spoke out, the more the cycle repeated. The emotional explosions didn't stop. The call-outs got louder. The shade became more pointed. And every time she tried to reclaim her voice, the industry interpreted it as another signal that she wasn't fit for the reality TV environment. Her reputation shifted from misunderstood to messy to unreachable. And eventually, the doors closed. The network moved forward without her. The cast made it clear they didn't want her inserted into their storylines. Viewers who once felt sympathy now felt exhaustion. Bloggers who once covered her drama with curiosity started covering it with frustration. People say she became her own biggest obstacle, her own storm. And here's the heartbreaking part: if things had gone differently, she could have crafted an entirely new image. She could have told her story on her own terms. She could have rebuilt herself, rebranded, found opportunities, or even stepped into a redemption arc. But every time she got close to that moment, emotions took over, pride took over, anger took over. And that's what ultimately led people to say her career, whatever it could have been, is over. Not because she lacked potential, not because she lacked charisma, but because the industry doesn't reward unpredictability, especially when it makes the people in power uncomfortable. The ending of this story isn't about punishment, it's about a lesson. That sometimes the loudest battles we fight aren't with other people, they're with the versions of ourselves we don't want to let go of. Sometimes the thing holding us back isn't the network, the critics, the cast, or the fans, but the pain we haven't healed from. Arionnecurry Curry didn't fall because she was unworthy. She didn't fall because she had no story. She fell because she never learned when to walk away from the fire. She kept running toward the flames until everything around her burned fast, including her chances, her reputation, and her place in a world she once believed she could thrive in. And whether you love her or dislike her, whether you feel sympathy or frustration, whether you see her as misunderstood or self-sabotaging, the truth is undeniable. She exposed herself more deeply than any cast member ever could have exposed her. And that, more than anything, is what changed everything.